All right, starting by giving all the praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Dash. What I said was all the praises, honor, and glory belongs to Yahawah in the name of Yahawashi, in the name of the Holy Spirit. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that indeed do rule well. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the elect. All right. And this lesson is going to be titled, Lord willing, One Nation, Indivisible under Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. Okay? And I was just thinking about it because, this Babylon the Great, aka America, as a little kid, we're, as children, we've all grown up and heard that the Pledge of Allegiance, what they call the Pledge of Allegiance. They made you say it when you were younger. Okay. However, that line stuck out to me recently when it said one nation indivisible. Okay. And, the thing is, this country is divided. All right. But the true nation that's going to be indivisible is the nation of Israel. Okay. You so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans in the kingdom. All right. Which is to come. Now, I just want to share the screen real quick. All right, so Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. Okay, now, here, right, it's going through the Pledge of Allegiance, right? It says the Pledge of Allegiance is meaning. And then, you got the pledge, right? And it says, the pledge is to be said standing, if able, facing the American flag. If in uniform, male or female, render a hand salute. If in civilian attire, your right hand should be placed over your heart. For males, if in civilian attire and wearing a hat, the hat should be removed, held by your right hand and placed over your left shoulder. Females wearing hats are not required to remove a hat and causing your hand to be over your heart. What is the meaning of our Pledge of Allegiance? Or their Pledge of Allegiance, right? It says, that, which means I promise to be faithful and true. So you're promising your loyalty to what? It says to the flag, and then it says to the emblem, which means to the emblem that stands for, represents to the United States, all 50 states and territories, each of them individual, and individually states represented on the flag. It says of American, yet formed into a union of one nation. And to the republic, it says, and I also pledge my, just reading, I don't even like saying it, but it says, I also pledge my loyalty to the government, that it is itself a republic, a form of government where the people are sovereign. It says, for which it stands. All right. And then it says, one nation under God, right? Then it says, the 50 individual states are united as a single republic under the divine providence of the Most High. Now, let's look at this word providence real quick. Let's see what it says. Providence. And it says, the protective care of the Most High, or of nature as a spiritual power. So the protection, right? So they think the Most High is protecting America pretty much. All right. As indivisible, which means what? And cannot be separated. All right. And I want to get into both of these things where it said providence of the Most High and indivisible. Then it says that people with liberty, meaning the people of this nation being afforded the freedom to pursue life, liberty, and happiness, and justice, and each person entitled to be treated justly, fairly, and according to proper law and principle. And you know this is false. If you're an Israelite, you know this is false. You're so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American, you know that this is false. It says for all. These principles afforded to every loyal American, regardless of race, religion, creed, or any other criterion. That's a lie. All right? That's a lie. Okay? But let's deal with this providence first, because they feel like this country is going to be protected under the Most High. Right? Actually, before that, let's deal with this indivisible thing. And Salaki for the background noises and everything, But it says indivisible. So what does indivisible mean? Salaki, I'm going to let the noise play around real quick. Salaki. Salakia, bear with me 1 second. You could just skip ahead to where I continue to keep talking. All right, Salakia. So dealing with this indivisible, right? Indivisible, it says unable to be divided or separated, right? So pretty much they believe that this country of America and these states are unable to be separated. Okay. And that's really, that's false, because recently they had the whole thing with Texas, Look, this was January 30th of 2024, this year. It says Texas's border standoff ignites calls for secession. Okay, so they almost seceded. If you don't know what secede means, it means to, let's get it real quick. Secede. Withdraw formally from membership of a federal union, an alliance, or political or religious organization. All right. And it's an alliance. Let me just check something. Hey, man. Hey, right here it said one nation under God, meaning the 50 individual states are united, aka a union, an alliance, as a single republic under the divine providence of the Most High. So this is just one example of how that's false. Okay. And in the coming times, you're going to have people turning on each other, etc. So this nation is definitely divided. How are you going to have a unity of people when it's a whole bunch of different cultures living in the same land together? How does that? How do you think it's going to be indivisible? And then on top of that, right? Didn't Yahawashi say this? Probably know what I'm about to get. What is it? It's lock here. Mark chapter 3, starting at verse 24 and 25. And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. So if you have, if something is divided, then it's not able to stand. Okay? And this country is definitely divided, man. Whether it be, it's really divided on all these things. On all of these things, right? It says for all, right? The principles awarded to every, so regardless of race, this country is divided on race. You have racial tensions here. religion. Okay, we already know we already know this country divided on religion. Creed. Look that word up, creed. 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 It says a system of Christian or other religious belief or faith. All right, a set of beliefs or aims which guide someone's actions. All right, let me see if there's anything else. All right, and so it's divided on that and other criteria. So this nation is definitely divided, man. All right, but the real nation that won't be divided, all right, is the nation of Israel. So-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, man. All right, that's the real nation that ain't gonna be divided. All right, because you got all the tribes, right? And in the kingdom of heaven, these tribes are gonna come back together for real unity in the kingdom of heaven. Now let's just begin, right? Because there's some history, and you should know this history, right? Of the tribes, splitting up, where to split, because this nation, right? You so-called black, Hispanic, Native Americans, aka you Hebrew Israelites, we Hebrew Israelites, we're split. Okay, our people are split, man. Our people are divided, and look at us, we not standing. Okay, look at the condition we in. We not standing right now. All right, our people are against each other. Our people hate each other. For example, so-called Negroes, Puerto Ricans, etc., Mexicans, etc., man. Especially Simeon and Levi, that's written about in the scriptures. Be not thou united. All right. But ultimately our nation is split into two kingdoms during the time of one of our kings in the past, who was known as King Solomon. Right. And if you don't know, King Solomon was our Savior, our Lord and Savior, Yahawashi. All right. Because he was a so-called black man. 1 Kings 11:1. All right, so I'm gonna read through this down to a certain point and get some history, Lord willing. So this is 1 Kings chapter 11. Give me 1 second. Starting at verse 1. And our people had peace under King Solomon, man. All right, who was Yahawashi and one of Yahawashi's past reincarnations. So picture when Yahawashi returns, all right, and sets up the kingdom forever. All right. This is 1 Kings chapter 11:1. But King Solomon loved many strange women. And real quick, okay, let me get that word Solomon. The Hebrew word for Solomon, all right, the way you say this is Shalamah. Shalamah. The way you say king is Malak. So Malak Shalamah, and it means peace. All right. Solomon means peace. Son of David by Bathsheba and third king of Israel, author of Proverbs and Song of Songs. Right. It's Shalamah. All right. See? And the Hebrew says, Waha Malak Shalamah, meaning, and the king Solomon, Ahab, meaning love. All right, so let's just go into it. First Kings 11:1. But King Solomon loved many strange women, together with the daughter of Pharaoh, women of the Moabites, Ammonites, Edomites, Zidonians, and Hittites. Verse 2. The nations concerning which Yahawah said unto the children of Israel, ye shall not go into them, neither shall they come in unto you, for surely they will turn away your heart after their gods. Solomon clave unto these in love. All right, and the thing is, right, King Solomon, okay, it wasn't, and a lot of Hebrew Israelite camps don't understand this, but a lot of them think that King Solomon, his sin was that he loved these different heathen women, Moabites, Ammonites, Edomites, Zidonians, and Hittites. They think that was the sin, okay, and that's not the sin. That's not where he messed up at. Okay, we're going to get into that. All right, but continuing on, verse 3. And he had 700 wives, princesses, and 300 concubines, and his wives turned away his heart. Okay? Now, in the kingdom, we're going to have, because he said 700 wives and then 300, so that's 1,000 women. Okay? So in the kingdom, we're going to have more than that, man. All right? You might have 5,000, 6,000, etc. All right? Picture that. And this side, you only could do, you do maybe 1, 2, 3 at a time. Maybe like one after the other. All right? But continuing on, verse 4. It says, for it came to pass, but keep in mind it said, and his wives turned away his heart. Right? Look, it says, for surely they will turn away your heart after their gods. You see? And that's what Solomon that's what Solomon messed up. Not because he had heathen women, but because it said, his heart was turned away after the other gods, and you'll see the gods of those different nations. Verse 4. For it came to pass when Solomon was old that his wives turned away his heart after other gods, and his heart was not perfect with Yahawah his God, as was the heart of David his father. You see? So this is why Solomon went off. Okay? It didn't say anything about him having heathen women dealing with the women of the other nations. Okay? From Israelite camps get upset about that. We say we could deal with heathen women in the kingdom of heaven. Let me show you. We're gonna have concubines in the kingdom. Let me show you. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 21. Starting at verse 10. It says, when thou goest forth to war against thine enemies, and Yahawah thy power hath delivered them into thine hands, and thou hast taken them captive, and seest among the captives a beautiful woman, right? So when we would go to war against the heathens, right, and the Lord gave us victory over them, and we took them captive, and we saw a beautiful woman, among the heathens. It says, and hast desire unto her that thou wouldest have her to thy wife, right? You won her, and this will be a concubine. Okay? It says, then thou shalt bring her home to thine house, and she shall shave her head, pare her nails, and she shall put the raiment of her captivity from off her, and shall remain in thine house, and bewail her father and mother a full month. So she had to do these different things, right? Before what? It says, and after that, thou shalt go in under her, meaning you would. So she would have to do these different things if you wanted her, right? Before you could sleep with her. Okay? However, this is a heathen woman, right? And then what does it say? And it says, and after that, thou shalt go in unto her and be her husband, and she shall be thy wife. All right? And this is regarding the heathen women, okay? Not the women of Israel. All right? Type in the word concubine. This is the word concubine definition. It says, in polygamous societies, and the thing, right, real quick, as a side note, so you can notice, right? There's a difference between polygamy and polygamy. Polygamy and polygamy. All right? Let's look at what polygamy is. Polygamy. It says polygamy is the practice of having more than one spouse at the same time. So notice, right? It didn't say man or woman. Okay. See, now here it says polygamy is a marriage where one or both spouses have other partners at the same time, or a marriage with more than one spouse. The most common types of polygamy are polygamy where a man is married to multiple women, and polyandry where a woman is married to multiple men. Group marriage where several men and women are married is rare. All right. So polygamy is whether is a man having multiple wives and a woman having multiple husbands at the same time. Okay. It could be, either of those different types, but it's wicked for a woman to have multiple husbands. That's adultery. All right. But a man definitely can have more than one woman. Let me get this real quick. Polygamy definition. And it says polygamy in which a man has more than one wife. And in the kingdom, that's what we're going to have. Israelite man is going to have more than one wife. Okay? We'll have many women in the kingdom. Hey, what do Yahawashi say? Real quick, let me get it. It's Matthew chapter 19, starting in verse 27, right? And it says, Then answered Peter and said unto him, Behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee. What shall we have therefore? And Yahawashi said unto them, Verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me, in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. So this is talking about the kingdom, right? Verse 29, And everyone that hath forsaken houses, or brethren, or sisters, or father, or mother, or what? Wife, or children, or lands, for my name's sake, shall receive 100-fold, and shall inherit everlasting life. So, in the kingdom, we're going to have, the Israelite man is going to have a bunch of women, a bunch of wives. All right? Now, let me get that word concubine now. Where is it? Concubine definition. All right? It says, in polygamous societies, right? This regarding, in this context of man, the Israelite man having more than one wife, right? A woman who lives with a man, all right, in this case it would be a heathen woman who lives with an Israelite man, it says, but has lower status than his wife or wives, okay? So it wouldn't be the same as, an Israelite wife, all right? So this is in our law that we can have that, okay? And just to show you furthermore, right, that we can have more than one woman, it's Deuteronomy 21:15. If a man have two wives, one beloved and another hated, and they have borne him children, both the beloved and the hated, and the firstborn son be hers that was hated. So it's not giving punishment, all right? It's just saying it's giving a solution to a situation, right? A law that would have to be done if a man had more than one wife and this situation happened, okay? That's going into something else. Point being, a man can have more than one wife, all right? But King Solomon, right? He had, he liked women. He had women of the other nations, but he wasn't wrong, right? For having them, okay? It's that his wives turned away his heart. His wives turned away his heart after other gods, and his heart was not perfect with Yahawah his God, as was the heart of David his father. And look what he did, verse 5. For Solomon went, 1 Kings 11:5, for Solomon went after Ashtoreth, the goddess of the Zidonians, after Milcom, the abomination of the Ammonites. And Solomon did evil in the sight of Yahawah, and went not fully after Yahawah, as did David his father. Then did Solomon build an high place for Chemosh, the abomination of Moab, in the hill that is before Jerusalem, and for Molech, the abomination of the children of Ammon. And likewise did he for all his strange wives, which burnt incense and sacrifice unto their gods. And Yahawah was angry with Solomon because his heart was turned from Yahawah, God of Israel. That's why the Lord was mad with him. Not because he had other women of different nations. All right. All right. So these other Israelite camps telling you that they off. All right. But, in the context of the point of the lesson, right? King Solomon, he started following, the God. He started doing stuff for the gods of the nations, going after the gods of the other nations, right? So the Lord was angry. So let's read what the Lord had told Solomon, right? So 1 Kings 11:9 again. But Yahawah was angry with Solomon because his heart was turned from Yahawah, God of Israel, which had appeared unto him twice. Verse 10, and had commanded him concerning this thing, that he should not go after other gods. But he kept not that which Yahawah commanded. Right? Give me just 1 second. All right. Okay. So, continuing on. Verse 11, it says, wherefore Yahawah said unto Solomon, for as much as this is done of thee, and thou hast not kept my covenant and my statutes, which I have commanded thee, I will surely rend the kingdom from thee, and will give it to thy servant. All right, now this word rend, let's see what this means. Strong's H7167, the Hebrew word here is korai, right? And it says to tear in pieces, to tear, rend away, to tear away or out. Okay, look, to be rent, be split asunder. Okay, you know, so that's what the Lord told Solomon he would do. Okay, and then that he would give it to the kingdom to his servant. Right, we're gonna find out who that servant is. Right. Wait a second. Continuing on, verse 12, it says, notwithstanding in thy days, I will not do it for David thy father's sake, but I will rend it out of the hand of thy son. Okay. It's a lot here. So, pretty much, right, the kingdom wouldn't be split during Solomon's reign, but during the time of his son's reign, okay, the kingdom would be split. Okay. So while Solomon was still in power, the Lord didn't separate the tribes. Okay. 1 Kings 11 and 13 says, howbeit I will not rend away all the kingdom, but will give one tribe to thy son, for David my servant's sake, and for Jerusalem's sake, which I have chosen. Okay. And that one tribe is the tribe of Judah. Okay. So now we get, the backdrop of why the split is happening, because King Solomon, he went after the other gods or the other nations, right? And his wives turned away his heart after the gods of their nations. And that's why the Lord was angry. So therefore, the Lord told him pretty much, because of that, he's going to rend the kingdom from him and give it to his servant. But while he's reigning, he wouldn't do it. But in his son, during the time of his son reigning over the nation, then he would do it. Okay. And let's see who this servant is. Also, here, Slocky. We'll get to that servant. So let's jump down, right? 1 Kings 11 and 26. It says, in Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, an Ephrathite of Zereda. Okay, it was an Ephraimite. It says, Solomon's servant, whose mother's name was Zeruiah, a widow woman, even he lifted up his hand against the king. And here, right, we begin to see who begin to see who is the head tribe of the northern kingdom, because the head tribe of the northern kingdom is the tribe of Ephraim, which are not today, but because this is who they were, all throughout history. But They are the so-called Puerto Ricans. Okay, they are the head tribe of the northern kingdom. Judah is the head tribe over the whole nation of Israel, but including the southern kingdom. Judah is the head tribe. Judah is the head tribe of the southern kingdom, as well as the rest of the nation. And Ephraim is the head tribe of the northern kingdom. Okay. 1 Kings 11 and 27 now says, and this was the cause that he lifted up his hand against the king. Solomon built Millo and repaired the breaches of the city of David his father. And the man Jeroboam was a mighty man of valor. And Solomon, seeing the young man that he was industrious, he made him ruler over all the charge of the house of Joseph. All right. Now, going on. And it came to pass at that time when Jeroboam went out of Jerusalem that the prophet Ahijah the Shilonite found him in the way. Okay, so Jeroboam going out of Jerusalem, and the prophet Ahijah called him. It says that he had clad himself with a new garment, and they two were alone in the field. And Ahijah caught the new garment that was on him and rent it in 12 pieces. And he tore it into 12 pieces, right? Which represents what? The 12 tribes of Israel. Verse 31, and he said to Jeroboam, take thee 10 pieces, for thus saith the Yahawah, the God of Israel, behold, I will rend the kingdom out of the hand of Solomon and will give 10 tribes to thee. All right, so this is that servant that the Lord told King Solomon he would give the kingdom to. Verse 32, but he shall have one tribe, Judah, for my servant David's sake, and for Jerusalem's sake, the city which I have chosen out of all the tribes of Israel. Verse 33, because that they have forsaken me and have worshipped Ashtoreth, the goddess of the Zidonians, and Chemosh, the god of the Moabites, and Milcom, the god of the children of Ammon, and have not walked in my ways to do that which is right in mine eyes, and to keep my statutes and my judgments as did David his father. So if the Lord was angry with him because he had women of the other nations, why didn't he say that right here? Why didn't he say that through the prophet Ahijah right here? Okay. If the Lord was angry with King Solomon for having women of the other nations, why didn't he say it right here? So you see, that wasn't what he was upset about once again. Verse 34, howbeit I will not take the whole kingdom out of his hand, but I will make him prince all the days of his life, for David my servant's sake, whom I chose, because he kept my commandments and my statutes. Right? It says, but I will take the kingdom out of his son's hand, and will give it unto thee, even 10 tribes. All right. Verse 36, and unto his son will I give one tribe, that David my servant may have a light always before me in Jerusalem, the city which I have chosen me to put my name there. And I will take thee, and thou shalt reign according to all thy soul desireth, and shalt be king over Israel. And it shall be, if thou wilt hearken unto all that I command thee, and wilt walk in my ways, and do that is right in my sight, to keep my statutes and my commandments as David my servant did, that I will be with thee, and build thee a sure house, as I built for David, and will give Israel unto thee. And I will for this afflict the seed of David, but not forever. All right. So that's what the prophet Ahijah told King Solomon. Salaki told Jeroboam. Right. Verse 40. Solomon sought therefore to kill Jeroboam, and Jeroboam arose and fled into Egypt unto Shishak, king of Egypt, and was in Egypt until the death of Solomon. Okay. Verse 41. And the rest of the acts of Solomon and all that he did in his wisdom, are they not written in the book of the acts of Solomon? And the time that Solomon reigned in Jerusalem over all Israel was 40 years. And Solomon slept with his, so King Solomon reigned over Israel for 40 years. We had peace those whole 40 years. Okay. Verse 43, and Solomon slept with his fathers and was buried in the city of David his father. And Rehoboam his son reigned in his stead. Okay. And this also proves that King Solomon, all right, is Yahawashi in the reincarnation, because the Lord told, if I can find it. 2 Samuel chapter 7. All All right, the Lord speaking to King David through the prophet Nathan, right? Starting verse 12. And when thy days be fulfilled, and thou shalt sleep with thy fathers, I will set up thy seed after thee, King Solomon, which shall proceed out of thy bowels, and I will establish his kingdom. He shall build an house for my name. And he did, because he built the temple. And I will establish the throne of his kingdom forever. But King Solomon, it says, and Solomon slept with his fathers. So how could his throne last forever? How could his rulership last forever if he had passed away? This is Yahawashi. Read Luke chapter 1 and verse 33. Start up from like 31, 30. All right. It says, I will be his father and he shall be my son. You can read about that in Hebrews. The Lord told that to Yahawashi. If he commit iniquity, I will chasten him with the rod of men. Bear me 1 second. All right, Salakia. Bear me 1 second. All right. We're just getting the history once again. All right, on the split of the nation of Israel, man. All right. And the fact that we're gonna come back together in the kingdom. And we're gonna be united, man. All right. Truly in the kingdom. So we finished 1 Kings 11. All right. Pretty much. Let's go to 1 Kings 12. All right. And we can read through it. 1 Kings chapter 12, starting verse 1. And Rehoboam went to Shechem, for all Israel will come to Shechem to make him king. And Rehoboam is Solomon's son, as we read, right? says, and it came to pass when Jeroboam the son of Nebat, who was yet in Egypt, Rehoboam is King Solomon's son, all right, and Jeroboam, all right, was an Ephraimite who was King Solomon's servant, okay. It says, and it came to pass when Jeroboam the son of Nebat, who was yet in Egypt, heard of it, and he was fled from the presence of King Solomon, and Jeroboam dwelt in Egypt, okay. That they sent and called him, and Jeroboam and all the congregation of Israel came and spake unto Rehoboam, saying, Thy father made our yoke grievous. Now therefore make thou the grievous service of thy father, and his heavy yoke which he put upon us lighter, and we will serve thee. So, since King Solomon went into idolatry, which we read, he built he started, his heart was turned after the other gods of the nations, and he started building the high places and things like that for the gods of the other nations, right? Of his wives and things, right? He was building those idols, and that stuff had costed. So so there's a chance, he put more tribute on the tribes, all right? And that was the grievous yoke Solomon put on the tribes. That's the grievous yoke, his heavy yoke which he put upon us, okay? So it says, verse 5, and he said unto them, Depart yet for 3 days, then come again to me. And the people departed. And King and King Rehoboam consulted with the old men that stood before Solomon his father while he yet lived, and said, How do ye advise that I may answer this people? And they spake unto him, saying, If thou wilt be a servant unto this people this day, and wilt serve them, answer them, and speak good words to them, then they will be thy servants forever. For he forsook the counsel of the old men, which they had given him, and consulted with the young men that were grown up with him, and which stood before him. And he said unto them, What counsel give ye that we may answer this people, who have spoken to me, saying, Make the yoke which thy father did put upon us lighter? And the young men that were grown up with him spake unto him, saying, Thus shalt thou speak unto the people that spake unto thee, saying, Thy father made our yoke heavy, but make thou it lighter unto us. Thus shalt thou say unto them, My little finger shall be thicker than my father's loins. And now whereas my father did lade you with a heavy yoke, I will add to your yoke. My father hath chastised you with whips, but I will chastise you with scorpions. Okay? So, 10th verse, So the 10th verse, pretty much comparing how King Solomon was going hard on his women, right, in a sexual manner, right? What was being said was Rehoboam would go like 5 times harder on the tribes, all right, than his father was on his women, okay? Verse 12, it says, so Jeroboam, so that's what so pretty much Jeroboam, so they asked him, the tribes came and asked him, make the yoke lighter. And so Rehoboam said, Go away for 3 days, come back. Rehoboam asked the older men that were with that advised King Solomon, how he should respond to the people. But he ignored their counsel, and he asked his boys that grew up with him the same question. Okay, and they gave him a response to say back to Jake, right, to verse 12. So Jeroboam and all the people came to Rehoboam the 3rd day, as the king had appointed, saying, Come to me again the 3rd day. He came back, and the king answered the people roughly, and forsook the old men's counsel that they gave him, and spake to them after the counsel of the young men, saying, My father made your yoke heavy, and I will add to your yoke. My father also chastised you with whips, but I will chastise you with scorpions. Wherefore the king hearkened not unto the people, for the cause was from Yahawah, that he might perform his saying, which Yahawah spake by Ahijah the Shilonite unto Jeroboam the son of Nebat. Okay? So he didn't listen to the men that advised Solomon, but he listened to his boys who he grew up with. Okay? And this happened because because the Lord, so the Lord could perform what He said, right? So He could rend the kingdom and split it. Okay, and it's spiritual because the kingdom was split under King Solomon, which was Yahawashi and the reincarnation, right? But pretty much through Yahawashi, the tribes is coming back together. All right. So here, moving on, verse 16 says the kingdom divided. See, Jeroboam rules Israel. It says, so when all Israel saw that the king hearkened not unto them, the people answered the king, saying, what portion have we in David? Neither have we inheritance in the son of Jesse. To your tents, O Israel. Now see to thine own house, David. So Israel departed unto their tents. So the northern kingdom is saying they wouldn't be joined to or submit to the house of David, pretty much, right? Verse 17, but as for the children of Israel, who dwelt in the cities of Judah, Rehoboam reigned over them. Okay? So this kingdom is split. All right? Verse 18. And we're going to see how Benjamin and Levi became the southern kingdom. All right? By that, you could just tell, who else was a part of the northern kingdom. Okay? So Ezekiel, 1 Kings 12. In verse 18, then King Rehoboam sent Adoram, who was over the tribute, and all Israel stoned him with stones, that he died. Therefore King Rehoboam made speed to get him up to his chariot to flee to Jerusalem. And so here Rehoboam stood tributary to get the northern kingdom in order, but they stoned the tributary. Okay? Man, verse 19, so Israel rebelled against the house of David unto this day. See? Verse 20, and it came to pass when all Israel heard that Jeroboam was come again, that they sent and called him unto the congregation and made him king over all Israel. So Jeroboam is king over the northern kingdom, and Rehoboam will be king over the southern kingdom. It says there was none that followed the house of David but the tribe of Judah only. So at this point, all right, so when the split initially happened, only the tribe of Judah remained loyal to the house of David. Okay, verse 21. So at this point, right, we're continuing on. Verse 21, and when Rehoboam was come to Jerusalem, he assembled all the house of Judah with the tribe of Benjamin. So now we see how Benjamin, all right, is a part of the southern kingdom. Okay, and it says, and 180,000 chosen men, which were warriors, to fight against the house of Israel, to bring the kingdom again to Rehoboam, the son of Solomon. All right. And then it says, but the word of Yahawah came unto Shemaiah. So it's going into something else, but we pretty much see how, all right, everything was split. Okay. And we're gonna find out about Levi, right? So, verse 22, but the word of Yahawah came unto Shemaiah. So they getting ready to fight. So verse 22, but the word of the Most High came unto Shemaiah, the man of the Most High, saying, speak unto Rehoboam, the son of Solomon, king of Judah, and unto all the house of Judah and Benjamin, and to the remnant of the people, saying, thus saith Yahawah, ye shall not, and think about this, right? It says Judah. Who are the tribe of Judah? So-called Negroes. Benjamin. Who are the tribe of Benjamin? So-called West Indians. You got a picture, in your head, these people in those lands back then, because that's really what happened. That's us. Okay, this is our history, right? Verse 24. Thus saith Yahawah, ye shall not go up nor fight against your brethren, the children of Israel. Return every man to his house. This thing is for me. They hearken therefore to the word of Yahawah and return to depart according to the word of Yahawah. All right. She says, for this thing is of me. Right. So moving on. Verse 25. Then Jeroboam built Shechem and Mount Ephraim and dwelt therein, and went out for thence and built Penuel Jeroboam said in his heart, now shall the kingdom return to the house of David. If this people, okay, verse 27. If this people go up to do sacrifice in the house of Yahawah at Jerusalem, then shall the heart of this people turn again to their Lord, even unto Rehoboam, king of Judah, and they shall kill me and go again to Rehoboam, king of Judah. So Jeroboam knew that if the tribes went back up to Jerusalem to do sacrifice, they would pretty much reunite, all right, back to Rehoboam, and then they would kill Jeroboam, right? So what did Jeroboam do? Okay. So he initially wanted to prevent this, all right? So what did he do? Verse 28, whereupon the king took counsel and made 2 calves, talking about Jeroboam, made 2 calves of gold, and said unto them, it is too much for you to go up to Jerusalem. Behold thy gods, O Israel, which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt. And he set one at Bethel, and the other put he in Dan. Right? And this thing became a sin, for the people went to worship before the one, even unto Dan. All right, and this is where you start to see, how Levi, the tribe of Levi, becomes a part of the southern kingdom. And he made in house of high places, they made priests of the lowest of the people, which were not of the sons of Levi. So we're gonna get a precept for this, right? Let's get Second Chronicles. I'm not gonna move it on another tab. Second Chronicles chapter 11. All right, starting at verse 13. Actually, no, I'm gonna start up. All right, so now it says Rehoboam reigns over Judah and builds cities. And this is proof that you have to go precept upon precept, because this information in here we didn't read in 1 Kings 11 and 12. So these false teachers and everything talking about Hebrew hopscotch and jumping, they don't understand the Bible. All right, you have to get precepts. All right, even like when you look in the law, right, it'll say one law, but in one book, but then another book it'll talk about that same law but expound on it. Right, so this is Second Chronicles, right, chapter 11, starting verse 1. And when Rehoboam was come to Jerusalem, he gathered up the house of Judah and Benjamin, 180,000 chosen men, which are warriors, to fight against Israel in the northern kingdom, that he might bring the kingdom again to Rehoboam. Right? So now jumping down, right? Verse 13. And it says, so I'm not going to start at, so actually, no, skip some back now. So, but the word of Yahawah came to Shemaiah, the man of the Most High, saying, speak unto Rehoboam, the son of Solomon, king of Judah, and to all Israel and Judah and Benjamin, saying, thus saith Yahawah, ye shall not go up nor fight against your brethren. Return every man to his house, for this thing is done of me. And they obeyed the words of Yahawah and returned from going against Jeroboam. And Rehoboam dwelt in Jerusalem and built cities for defense in Judah. He built, so names the cities he built, right? So verse 12 now, and in every several city he put shields and spears and made them exceeding strong, having Judah and Benjamin on the side. So you see, Benjamin is also a part of the southern kingdom, right? So now, verse 13, it says, and the priests and the Levites that were in all Israel resorted to him, who? Rehoboam, out of all their coasts. And why? Verse 14 says, Jeroboam appoints false priests, for the Levites left their suburbs in their possession, because that's the inheritance that the Levites had got when they were in the land of Israel, right? They didn't have a territory. They had the suburbs, okay, of all, within the tribes and everything in the land of Israel. It says, but the Levites left their suburbs in their possession and came to Judah and Jerusalem. For Jeroboam and his sons had cast them off from executing the priest's office unto Yahawah, because that was what they were supposed to do, executing the priest's office, right? It says, and he ordained him priests for the high places, and for the devils, and for the calves which he had made. And after them, out of all the tribes of Israel, such as set their hearts to seek Yahawah, power of Israel, came to Jerusalem to sacrifice unto Yahawah, power of their fathers. They strengthened the kingdom of Judah and made Rehoboam the son of Solomon strong. 3 years, for 3 years they walked in the way of David and Solomon. Okay, so pretty much Jeroboam, he didn't let Levi, the tribe of Levi, um, do their do their office. So they left off and followed the tribe of Levi. They left off from go following Jeroboam. Okay, So we read that here, and we read that in 1 Kings 12 and 31. So that he made an house of high places and made priests of the lowest of the people, which were not of the sons of Levi. And this is why the tribe of Levi resorted back to Rehoboam, and that's officially how the tribe of Levi is a part of. That's how Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, well, specifically talking about the tribe of Levi, are part of the southern kingdom. Okay, this is why here we see the southern kingdom and the northern kingdom, and also too, you did have. Let's read down in verse 16, 2 Chronicles 11. It says, and after them, out of all the tribes of Israel, such as set their hearts to seek Yahawah, power of Israel, came to Jerusalem to sacrifice unto Yahawah, power of their fathers. All right. So there were also some Israelites of the northern kingdom, all right, that didn't want to worship idols like the rest of the northern kingdom. And Jeroboam wanted to remain loyal to the Lord, and they came from the northern kingdom to Jerusalem to sacrifice to the Lord. All right. So now you see the split. Okay. And ever since then, these people have been split and divided. Okay. See, so, hey man, ultimately people are split and divided, man. All right. Even nowadays. Okay. These people don't even like each other. All right. So-called blacks don't like Puerto Ricans, etc., Mexicans, etc., man. Dominicans, Haitians, the tribes are divided right now, right? But all that's going to change, okay? And the thing is, even in the law, right, it talks about, you're not supposed to hate one another, really, but, and then let me just say, in the kingdom of heaven, all right, everybody, all the Israelites, we're going to be in, unity, real unity. We talk about Jake on unity camps and stuff on this side, man. Look, we don't even teach the same doctrine on this side. You got the doctrine of GMS, which is the truth, and then you got these other doctrines out here which ain't the truth. Okay? Let me just get the Ezekiel 37 real quick. Ezekiel 37, starting at verse 15. Ezekiel chapter 37, and actually, I'm gonna start from verse 20. But you see, it says reunion of Judah and Israel, and this goes to the 12 tribes chart. All right, because the Lord in the 12 tribes chart is prophecy. All right, and this is also why and you see all the tribes on there because the Lord is bringing tribes together. So this is Ezekiel chapter 37. I'm gonna start at verse 20. And the sticks, which goes into planks. And when you look at the 12 tribes chart, it's a plank. Okay, it was prophecy, and this wasn't done in the time of Ezekiel because they knew they were Israelites back then. This is prophecy that will happen now. We see it. It says, and the sticks whereon thou writest shall be in thine hand before their eyes. See? And the planks whereon the tribes are written on. Okay? So tribes chart be in our hand before their eyes. Before the eyes of who? Our people. Okay? And that's when they out there on the highways and byways, they see the chart, right? And they You catch them all the time looking at the chart, man. All right. Verse 21, it says, "And say unto them, Thus saith the Lord Yahawah, Behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the heathen," what's going to happen when Yahawashi returns, "whither they be gone, and will gather them on every side and bring them into their own land." They're going back home very soon. Here's the point, look. "And I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Israel. One king shall be king to them all," right, which is King David, but he's going to be under Yahawashi, of course, right? It says, "And they shall be no more two nations, neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms any more at all." See? Yeah, so in the kingdom of heaven is where the real unity is going to come. Okay? Verse 23, "Neither shall they defile themselves anymore with their idols, nor with the detestable things, nor with any of the transgressions." All right? You know, it says, "But I will save them out of all their dwelling places." All right? Which is all over the earth. It says, "Wherein they have sinned, and will cleanse them." Right? Which that cleansing will be the truth. It says, "So shall they be my people, and I will be their God." Verse 24. It says, "The Davidic kingdom, and David my servant shall be king over them." So King David is going to come back. Right? He's going to be in the kingdom. And we're going to be under the new covenant at this time. All right? You know? So, because the new covenant, when you understand it, that's going to take place when, really, it's going to start when Yahawashi returns. Okay? And we're going to be changed, etc. So it's prophecy centered around the new covenant. And King David would have the new covenant as well. So, he would be walking amongst us. So how are we under the new covenant? You see? It says, "And David my servant shall be king over them, and they shall all have one shepherd. They shall also walk in my judgments, and observe my statutes, and do them. And they shall dwell in the land that I have given unto Jacob my servant, wherein your fathers have dwelt. And they shall dwell therein, even they and their children, and their children's children forever." See? Oh man, this is another cut. I'm gonna have to make a separate lesson on this. All right? Yeah, I'm gonna do that. All right? Because it says, this is the future. Because these heathens that's in the land of Israel now, they ain't the real people, because there's still war going on there. Okay? When we get back in the land, it's gonna be peace. All right? So it says nation, so this is talking about the real Israelites, 12 tribes of Israel, all 12 tribes, and they talking about who? The 12 tribes, all 12 tribes, not just a few, not just Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. All right, because them fake Jews in the land, they don't know that they don't know where they don't know about where the rest of the tribes are. How you don't know? You in the land, okay? All right, so y'all ain't the real people. All right, this is prophecy right here. Okay, it says, "And they shall dwell in the land, all the 12 tribes, that I have given unto Jacob my servant, wherein your fathers have dwelt, the land of Israel. And they shall dwell therein, even they." All right, because it's going to start with the elect, because the Lord's going to deliver a remnant. All right, and so it's going to start with the elect. It says, "And their children." Hey, the nation of Israel doesn't just consist of only the elect. The whole nation got the rest of the, 2/3, other wicked Israelites, etc. Man, okay. And the Lord said He's going to destroy 2/3 in the land of America. All right. So who are these children? Because reincarnation is a thing. Children, a baby is a reincarnation of an old spirit. All right. A baby is a reincarnation of an old spirit. So, and you are what your father is. Okay? So who are these children? It says, even they and their children and their children's children forever. So it's going to be, because we're going to be multiplying. All right? So these are, 2/3 of wicked Israelites coming back. And their children and their children's children forever. My servant David shall be their prince forever. Moreover, I will make a covenant of peace with them. it shall be an everlasting covenant with them, and I will place them and multiply them, and will set my sanctuary in the midst of them forevermore. My tabernacle also shall be with them. Yea, I will be their God, and they shall be my people, and the heathen shall know that I, Yahawah, do sanctify Israel, and my sanctuary shall be in the midst of them forevermore. You see, that's when the real unity is going to come back. All these tribes are going to be, together, man. No more division. See this picture. All right. Judah all the way down to Issachar, man. Okay? See? It's going to happen when Yahawashi returns, man. All right? So, I just wanted to do that lesson, man. Because we're going to come out together. And that's going to be, and the thing is, right? Because it said, and they shall what? It says, and they shall be no more two nations. Neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms anymore at all. So we're the real nation that's going to be indivisible. And we in this point, we're going to be in the kingdom. So it's going to be under Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. So we're going to be one nation, the nation of Israel. Under Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, indivisible. We're the true nation that's going to be indivisible, man, in the kingdom. All right? That's for America. All right? Oh, yeah. And there's more here, right? That's for America. After America is destroyed, this is going to happen. You see? So we need America to go. The Lord is going to destroy America. All right? And it said, getting back to this, right? It said, one nation under God. The 50 individual states are united as a single republic under the divine providence and protection of God. And that's fake. That's false. Because the Lord is going to destroy America. Let's get that real quick. Revelation chapter 18. And starting in verse 1. Babylon is fallen. And after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, meaning destroyed. It has become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and the cage of every unclean and hateful bird. Because after America is destroyed, and the smoke, the fire and smoke clear, you ain't gonna have nothing but desert animals living here, man. Because America is gonna be reduced to a desert. Real quick. This is the book of Joel, chapter 2. Right? Getting to the point, verse 3. A fire devours before them. Talking about because the fire on the nuclear missile comes from the warhead. It says that behind them, meaning on the back side of the missile, a flame burns. That's that fire when it propels off, and that's on the bottom of the missile. The land of America, like the Garden of Eden before them. Before the missiles hit, the land is going to be, it's going to be like a regular day. People, just walking up and down the street, cars going, as usual. All right? Because then behind them, after the missiles hit, what? A desolate wilderness. Okay? A desolate wilderness, man. When you look up a picture of desolate, well, let's look at the definition first. Desolate, it says, of a place deserted of people and in a state of bleak and dismal emptiness. You see desert, see? Make a place bleakly and depressingly empty or bare. Devastating, you see? When you look up a picture, what do you see? Desert, deserts and stuff like that, right? So America is going to be destroyed. It's going to be turned all these skyscrapers and buildings and all. It's going to be turned to a desert. It says, yea, nothing shall escape them. Okay. Revelation 18 and 3 says, for all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of fornication. Because these nations follow the ways of America. America pushes its ways on these other countries and nations around the world. And the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people. That ye be not partakers of her sins, that ye be received not of her plagues. Meaning, this is talking about the elect being beamed up into the chariot. Right? And the main deliverance is going to be when Yahawashi returns, the main deliverance is going to take place, in the United States. Okay? But also from all around the world. All right? But mainly here in the United States. This is the book of Micah, chapter 4, verse 10. And it says, be in pain and labor to bring forth, O daughter of Zion, like a woman in travail. For now shalt thou go forth out of the city, and thou shalt dwell in the field, and thou shalt go even to Babylon, America. There thou shalt be delivered. There the Lord shall redeem thee from the hand of thine enemies. See? There you have it. So going back to Revelation 18. And then one of those plagues, Zechariah 14:12, of the missiles. Verse 5, for her sins have reached unto heaven. Everything America's done from the time it began, even up to now, all right? It says, and the Most High remember her iniquities. The Lord remembers all of that. And what America's original sin is slavery. Okay? Verse 6, reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works. And the cup which she hath filled to her double. So the people that rule this place, which are Esau, Edom, right? In the kingdom, we're going to pay them back. For all they stuff they did to us, we're going to pay them back. Verse 7, how much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow given. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. You see this shall see no sorrow attitude in the average American. They think nothing bad can happen to America. They believe they have the best Air Force, everything. You got that American pride, the patriotism. Let me look that word up. Patriotism, the quality of being patriotic, devotion to and vigorous support for one's country. People like this believe in this country wholeheartedly, man. All right? Wholeheartedly. Okay? And that's a bad combination of colors, man. Red, white, and blue. All right, but getting back, verse 8. And does this prove that the Most High has providence over this country? No. Verse 8, therefore shall her plagues come in one day. And that day is the day of the Lord. Death, and mourning, and famine. And she, America, shall be utterly burned with fire. See? And look, for strong is the Lord God who judgeth her. So it's the Lord that's going to judge this place. So how is America? So how is America under the divine providence of the Most High? It's like under the divine providence or protection of the Most High. It's not, because the Lord is going to judge her. Okay? So, that's pretty much going to be the lesson. So, amen. Rolling, that was edifying. I want to give all the praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, double honors to the apostles and elders of the great millstone that be well. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the elect. Shalom to the elect.